Yo, what is up guys, Steel Vico here, and welcome back to another video. And in this video we're doing another Janglin Bones repair. The last one I did was like a year or so ago, or 2 years ago maybe. It was during the winter, I believe, when I recorded that. But this one is going to be a little different. This is going to be more technical and electrical, less of just the cosmetic stuff. I'm going to be attempting a 100% repair on a Janglin Bones. Now, if you didn't know, if you haven't seen that video, or if maybe I hadn't released it or something, Hunt World, a friend of mine, as well as a fellow hunter, has sent me a Janglin Bones for my birthday, which, you know, like I said, I did an unboxing for. I'm not sure if that was public, but I did unbox that, and he gave me a Janglin Bones, which is really cool, and I was really hyped for that, because that's like my all-time favorite Halloween decoration, honestly. And a lot of people don't understand that, but it just is. It's just kind of one of those things. And so I'm going to be attempting a full 100% repair. Now, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have his permission. I don't like to kind of take apart gifts that people give me. For the most part, I have made a few exceptions. For example, the swinging, talking, musical clown. I asked for that specifically so I could audio rip it, even though I also did like the animatronic itself. But you know, enough of that, but he gave me permission to do this. Like, I wanted to make a repair video. I wanted to see if I could get him 100% repaired to his former glory. For the most part, with a few little exceptions. Because I haven't seen a Janglin Bones working in years. I believe last time was when I was at my grandma's house, when I was really young. So, if I can get one working, I can get an actual demo out there for you guys. A better quality one with 4K. I realized how bad that footage was. I watched it back a few days ago, or actually today, and I wasn't a big fan of it. Also, I apologize, this video is going to have a lot of jump cut kind of stuff. It's not going to have like smooth transitions. Like you're not going to see me move the camera. I have my mic settings up, and that is going to absolutely destroy the audio. So I'm going to have to cut till after everything is stationary, just because I don't want the audio to get ruined, and you guys don't need to hear that. I don't need to mess with the audio. And then the last disclaimer is I have already taken him apart a little bit and ran a little bit of a diagnostic on it, but I'm going to be going over that. So why don't I just show you the table that I've got him on, and then I'll, you know, talk about a few other quick disclaimers. So yeah, let's go. Alright guys, now you can kind of see me in the corner here. This might not be ideal here, but the one last disclaimer is you might think this video might not be helpful if you don't have a Janglin Bones. However, this video should be helpful for repairing items such as the Strolly Ghosts, if you have any of those that are damaged. Anything that shakes that has an offset motor, this might help you repair it if you have a damaged one. It also is going to give you some tips on how to take care of any skeletons of this style. That would include the Blucky skeletons, I believe is how they're pronounced, with a B, and like any other Paper Magic Group skeletons that have these really fragile connection studs. I'm going to be doing a connection stud reinforcement. I have an idea that I'm going to be proposing at the end of the video, but I'm not actually going to be showing. That might be for another time. As well as I have one connection stud to get out, which I'll explain in a minute. So, yeah. Without further ado, why don't we just do a quick cut here so that I can kind of get to the explanation of everything that's wrong with this one. Alright guys, now we're back. I don't know why I felt like that cut, I just thought it would be neat. So, what we're going to be dealing with this Janglin Bones for this repair, to 100% restore him to his former glory, at least that's the intent. As you can see, he is in half, and his head is removed. Now, I removed his head, and that was completely controlled. It is perfectly fine. The like plastic on this edge might be a tiny bit stretched out now, just a little bit, and a little bit more damaged, but nothing too serious. It's kind of a consequence of removing the head, but you do what you gotta do in order to repair his head without damaging his arms, which are really fragile. So this we'll talk about the head damage last. You can see here that the connection stud on the chest is broke off. Now, fortunately, I still have it. When Hunt World sent it over to me, it was still inside of him. However, it was left inside as you can hear here, his torso, or whatever you want to call this area. And I have not been able to get it out. I've spent like an hour at it last night, just trying to get it out, and I haven't been able to. So that is the damage for the stud that's broken. That's the one broken stud we have. And then lastly, this stud is on the verge of breaking. If you twist it the right spot, you can see how it's completely coming loose and it's barely hanging on. Technically, I could attempt to melt it back on, or as you can see here, you can see how it's broken. However, for this purpose of this video, I'm going to be doing a hot glue reinforcement only. Because I don't want to mess with the heat in case that goes wrong. I'd like to test it on something a little bit less consequential. I can't speak, apparently. As, like I said, this was a gift, and because I love Janglin Bones so much, you know, one of my all-time favorite Halloween decorations. So, we're not going to be doing that. And then lastly, the head that has the most damage to it. So this head, now, ignoring the fact that the bottom came off, that was my doing, so don't worry about that one. But when I turned him on, as you can see, this is all he does. His eyes blink and light up. He does not laugh. He does not shake. I did not expect him to shake. That is kind of the first thing you see go on these Janglin Bones, for animation at least. I mean, you see the studs break all the time, but you almost never see him with shaking. So I'll be really excited if I can get that to work 100%. His speaker, as you can kind of hear it faintly now. But, anyway, so I did open it up, and what I did is I took a knife, this knife right here, which I did nick myself, unfortunately, and what I did was I kind of broke the hot glue seal. It's just the hot glue seal. I tried to do it as carefully as I can as to not cut any of the plastic. I did kind of get it in one spot, but that's okay with me. And I opened it up, and I ran a bit of a diagnostic here to try to find out what was wrong. And the first thing I noticed was this red wire was completely loose, just kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere. And I figured that had to do with the offset motor. So I figured if I could figure out where that was supposed to go, then the offset motor would work. Now, I have figured out where to do that, and I'll get into that in a second. And then lastly, I did take the speaker out. I had to break the hot glue seal on both sides here. And as you can see, it is still connected by both wires, so that's not the issue. I believe there's something wrong with the speaker itself. I'll explain why I know it's the speaker itself and not the connection in a minute. So, that's everything that's wrong with it. I apologize for how long this rant was. Hopefully I can shorten it or something. Or maybe this will be the introduction video. I'm not sure. Or maybe it'll be a long video, guys. You know, if you want to settle down for one of those, I'll do a longer video, and maybe not. Maybe upload it longer than 15 minutes, even though it might not be necessary. I apologize for the rant. If you guys don't like rants, feel free to skip to a part where I, you know, maybe actually cover something, like actually start repairing something. I'm not sure how much repairing is going to be done in this part, but we'll see. And the last thing I neglected to mention is on the mouth here, the, as you can see, the elastic band that's meant to kind of keep his mouth so that it kind of shakes a little bit but kind of has a little bounce to it. It's completely stretched out. I might do I'm not going to replace it or remove it, or I might, but it's unlikely. I want to keep the original parts in there if I can, for the most part, even though the speaker might need to be replaced. But I'm going to be adding another band in hopes to kind of add it back, because this band is basically doing nothing at this point. It's that damaged. And then I believe that is everything. That's the damage that I plan to repair. So yeah, let's get into some of the details. I'm going to be talking about the speaker and the offset motor first. Alright guys, I know this angle isn't ideal, and I apologize for the flashing head, but I'm going to be leaving him on for the purpose of this. So the first thing I want to talk about is, I did take this piece out, so don't worry. I'll screw this back down because I know that that's not part of the issue. In a little bit, probably off camera, but I did that myself. So I noticed that this wire was kind of hanging on its own, and I knew that it had to go somewhere, and I knew the offset motor wasn't working. So as you can see, maybe, hopefully, there's a spot under here where there's a contact connected to the motor itself. And what I did is I touched it to that contact carefully. Now, I didn't want to like electrocute myself. And as you can see, guys, when it's touching to there, when he's activated, it does in fact spin. Now, it's hard to get a good angle at it because it kind of moves on its own. There you go, guys. That's all. I'm not gonna waste any more time on that. So basically, I'm gonna be resoldering that at some point. Maybe this video, maybe next video. I'm gonna be resoldering that down because that's obviously where it's supposed to go because that's making it spin. I believe if I touched it to like here, I don't think that would work. I would assume. It's a little risky, but I'll try it. Yeah, as you can see, nothing's happening. There are already 2 wires on this side, so obviously there needs to be 2 wires on this side. They aren't even the same color. I don't know what that's about. But there we go. As you can see, now it's working like a charm. Still has a good amount of power to it, actually. So hopefully that's going to lead to some good animation on him. He's going to have that real Janglin Bones like he's supposed to. And yeah. So that's the offset motor. An easier fix than you might think. I believe a lot of you, if you have a Janglin Bones and you're willing to open the head up. Now, I know that it's a bit of an issue. It kind of depreciates the item quite a bit to have to break that seal. But I plan on keeping mine, and I want to have one for a demo for you guys, just to kind of have as like a thing, because there aren't any demos of the full body Janglin Bones out there. And then the speaker, I'm probably going to be replacing. Let's just pull up my laptop here. Give me a second. Alright, as you guys can hopefully see here, I have Audacity open, and I have my audio ripper plugged in here, so I've got my audio ripper on this table, just to kind of demonstrate the experimentation I did, to kind of figure out that the connection was still okay on the speaker, and that it's probably the speaker itself. So what I've done is I obviously disconnected the speaker. Let me move the camera down a bit. As you can hopefully still see, so we've got the speaker here, which is now making some slight laughter. You can kind of hear it. Maybe the speaker kind of needs to warm up if that's a thing. But you can. The speaker's kind of out of frame here, but I've got the speaker. And what I did was, obviously, as you know, I am prone to do, I attempted to audio rip it, and so I hooked up the alligator clips here to either side. You know, I was like, okay, this probably won't work. Obviously, there's something wrong with the connection, or there could be. So I set the input on, and I pressed it, and I activated them. Okay, there you go, guys. That was a bit of an awkward little thing there. But as you can see, the audio is going out here as he's activated, which means that the connection is decent. Now, I listened to the audio quality. I've actually made my audio video for Janglin Bones already. That was like the first thing I did. And the audio quality is fine. It's not great, but it's definitely not as a result of like the connection or anything. It's obviously just the old audio, the old cheap, like, kind of royalty-free China fake audio that they use. So I didn't expect anything extravagant, but it's still fun. So the next thing that I did is I said, okay, so the connection, the circuit board itself isn't screwed up, which is good, because if the circuit board is screwed up, it's game over. You know, you're kind of done. So I switched the input to an output sound, and what I did was I just went through and I said, let's output a sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this thing output the Stroby Ghost audio rip that I had done. It's a unreleased one because it was a faulty Stroby Ghost. I did a little editing too. So as you can see, I will be quiet. you can kind of listen carefully, and I'll let you know at the end if you could even hear anything. So let's output. So guys, I'm not gonna waste too much more of your time there with that. Point is, you couldn't hear anything at all. Now I know the connection of the alligator clips isn't the best, so that could play a small role. But point is, you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't hear any of the Strobe Ghost audio. So what I did is I thought, okay, maybe it just wouldn't help. Just to make sure, kind of have a baseline. Old toy speaker that I took out from, I believe, one of my first audio rip experiments. And I plugged it in, as I did with the Janglin Bones, like so. As you can see, I'll kind of hold that up a little bit. And then I played the audio, and lo and behold, I apologize for it being out of focus. Probably going to be kind of an issue with this kind of camera, but hopefully it'll be highish quality. But as you can see, the baseline proves that this, is outputting correctly. So in theory, it should be playing to the speaker, but it's not. So there's something wrong with the speaker, most likely. And I don't know what it is. It's probably old. I don't know if it can be repaired, or if there's something I can do, because it originally wouldn't play any sound at all, and now it's a little quiet. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to actually, get louder, or if I'm just going to have to rip that speaker out and put another one in. Which might be this speaker right here. So yeah, that's it for all the tests that I've done. Like I said, the speaker and that. I will get to the leg thing, the leg little tip I have for that last, and then I will probably do the repair video in another one. I'm not entirely sure what my plan is here, but we'll see.